Hello, my name is Roxy, and welcome to another race review. Today we're going to be going over androids. So, I'll be splitting up this video into a couple of parts to get the real in-depth feel about the race, and that's how this is going to go. But before I get to the video, if you have not already subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you did so. And also, I have a Discord that's going to be down in the description. So with those two things out of the way, let's get on with the video. So to start, let's go over androids and their race. Androids are mechanical humans, basically. They look the same as humans in terms of functionality. Their health are a 0.9 in terms of output. Their agility is a 1.2. Their key control is also a 1.2. And their physical and key damage are 0.85. So, lacking in damage, but they make up for it in key control and agility. Their racial ability is energy regeneration. So energy regeneration just means that they constantly, at all times, regenerate ki. Mind you, not the max power bar, but the yellow bar. Just the yellow bar. They also have the super android form, which is their 3.25 form. So testing the auto ki regeneration ability in the androids was a little bit tricky because you couldn't really get a clear indication of what was really happening because the bar doesn't really go all the way down. So I tested from as soon as the bar started dropping from when it was all the way yellow. And around that was around 14.5 seconds. So let's say 14 seconds from 0 ki to full ki. So I'm going to be going over some basic pros and cons of androids. First off, a pro of them is obviously their racial ability. It's bar none one of the best racial abilities in the game, but it's also offset by their pretty bad stat array. So the ratio ability allows them to obviously auto-regenerate ki. And with high enough ki control, you can do this to the point where you don't need to worry about ki anymore. Like, you can just keep banging out supers and stuff, and you will not drop an ounce in ki. And I had multiple videos on this of infinite ki and all that and stuff. So that is obviously their biggest boon. So they knew about this and offset it by low damage. So you aren't going to be doing a ton of damage with your attacks. You're going to have to invest a little bit more into ki damage if you want to get as much out of it. But you don't need to worry about ki. Another slight buff is their agility. It's a good agility stat. 1.2 is one of the best in the game, or if not the best in the game. But agility isn't really used much more than getting to, 300 or whatever you need it to. So it's fine, but it's not going to save you as much points as, if you had it in a more important stat. Their key control stat is really good. So since you'll be doing a lot of key control in general, that is going to save you some points that you could reinvest into key damage, although it's not going to give you as much as it would if it was just higher. Lastly, I'm going to be going over the stat outputs and what to think about each of them, and the ideal build that I'd probably use for an android. So going over their stats first, their health is a 0.9, I believe is a D-. It's below average if I take average as a 1, and it's just not, they're not as tanky as other races, and that's something you have to look out for as an android. Agility is an S, probably best agility in the game, if I'm correct, 1.2, but agility isn't really used that much, so it's kind of being wasted. Key control 1.2 is also an S. That's something you would actually use as an android. That's something that's actually pretty good, so that's pretty nice to have. Physical damage and key damage are both Fs. At 0.85, it's like the worst damage in the game for both. It's offset by their ability in auto regeneration though, but you're doing almost no damage. So that's what I think for the stats. For the build that I'd use as an android, I'm using a 2,500 point build for people that don't have HCC or using like trait wishes or anything, or earth wishes for any skill points or anything like that. So this is just basic, and you could add these points as you see fit, but this is what I use for like a bare bones build. I put health at 601, so like 600. That's a decent amount of health, and I put as much as in there as I think I could without, sacrificing too much from other stats. Agility I put 301. You could negotiate this lower if you'd like, but I put this as the absolute lowest that you need. just for if you're just going for, you don't take any ultimate or key charge when you take this off. But as an Android, you probably don't need to worry about this since you have charging key all the